Hi, NC Kids 5 through 12. We have one more month left of 2019 and then the new year. So let's go over December. December has 5 weeks in it and lots of activities, lots of details. So our theme this month is joy, and our scripture is always be joyful because you belong to the Lord. I will say it again, be joyful. That's Philippians 4:4. And so for your offering, you will have a sheet that you can just pick any situation for offering that you want to go over that you feel the most comfortable with. So for week 1, we have our first activity is charades. And so there's a tiny twist with this one, and it is that the students are acting out and the adults are guessing. And so you'll use these little questions, these little examples, and have the students act out, and then the adult, the team member, team captain, will be doing the guessing. And then for activity 2, we have these little chains. And my 8-year-old, y'all, he still loves making these chains. He makes them for his birthday, Christmas countdown, whatever it is, he's making them. And so you want to have your team member cut these up, and then you're going to just create a station. So you're going to have like the slip 1 and some glue sticks, the slip 2 and some glue sticks, slip 3, and so on. And then they're just going to start in an assembly line and start at the beginning until they have a whole chain. And the goal is for them to go home and be able to retell the story to their parents. They could also use it as a countdown for Christmas when it gets time. And then activity 3 is discussion questions. So for week number 2, your first one is a minute to build it. So you're gonna have some plastic cups, break off into small teams or get 2 teams on the stage and see who can build the tallest Christmas tree out of the cups in 1 minute. And so that'll be fun. All right, so the activity 2 is cane. You do it, so we're dealing with candy canes. And so you're gonna have a prepared candy cane. And what that means is you're gonna cut these up and attach them to a candy cane with tape or string. And then you're going to place those candy canes inside of a bucket, like your offering bucket, with some extra candy canes in it. And instead of using our mouth, we're gonna use our hand. And so a kid's gonna grab a candy cane and fish out some candy canes out of the bucket until they get to a question. And then they're gonna answer the question. And you do that until all the questions are answered. And then your third activity is discussion questions, as usual. Week number 3, you are using chopsticks and jumbo marshmallows. And so what they're gonna do is they're going to take some chopsticks and place their jumbo marshmallow onto, you could probably use a paper plate, and then they're gonna share something that they're grateful for, something that brings them joy. And then the next kid takes chopsticks and you stack. And so everybody's sharing what brings them joy, and the Tower of Marshmallow Joy is what it's called. Whoever makes the biggest tower will win. And they're all sharing things that bring them joy. So your second activity is marshmallow toss. And this time your prepared cups are going to be your scripture cut up and then taped to a cup. And so you're gonna have one word taped to the cup, and then you're gonna spread these cups around the room. And then you're going to give each kid a few mini marshmallows and a spoon, and they're going to catapult these mini marshmallows into the cup. And then at the very end, you may have to pick up the marshmallows that are on the floor that didn't make it into a cup, give them to the kids and let them do it again. And so you also do have 2 sheets here, so if you want to break the kids up into 2 groups and do the same thing, just prepare your cups. And then at the very end, they're going to put the scripture in order. So that is for your activity 2. For activity 3, discussion questions, and you do have an activity 4 here, and it's pray and dismiss. So you have where you can break the kids into small groups and have your adults pray over the kids, and it gives you a very short line that you can pray, inserting their name over each kid. So I think that is very sweet. So the older ministries, I say definitely do that. The younger ministries, you may have to discern if you have the ability to do that. So for week 4, your first one is candy canes, gift bows, and a plate. Those are the supplies that you need. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take these little bows that you have, big and small, scatter them around the room, give kids a plate and a candy cane. And they're gonna have to scoop up the bows with their candy cane and put them on their plate. And so there are 1-inch bows as well that are tiny, that the candy cane can't even go in. And so they're gonna have to use teamwork, work together to pick those small bows up and put them on someone's plate. And at the end, per bow that you have on your plate, you have to share something. Share the best parts of Christmas, past, present, or something they look forward to. 1 example per bow. And it does make a little disclaimer in these activities for this month, just to be mindful when we're talking about Christmas and presents that some kids may not receive a lot for Christmas. So don't be focused on the presents and the gifts of Christmas. but focus on those main bottom lines. And then for your second activity, you have wrapped presents. And so I'm going to give you some boxes that we're going to have these little questions in, or baby Jesus. And you're going to play a little game where you pass to the left or pass to the right based upon what the teacher says. And then whoever has the box at the end opens it. And so they either open it to a question or they open it to baby Jesus. And then you have your discussion questions for activity 3. For week number 5, you have your first activity where you're going to need some music, and then you're going to read the Bible verse, and then each kid, you're going to break them off into teams, and so maybe 5 kids per team, and then they're going to create either hand motions or a dance to the Bible verse, and then they get to create that as a team and then present it on the stage as a team. And so they're creating motions or a dance to go with the Bible verse, and so that'll be sweet. That's how my kids learn NCC. It's through motions and song. Okay, so your second activity is searching for God. And so you have these journal pages per kid that you're going to hand out. And it says today's date. Today I saw God win. And they can write an example and then they can draw the example. And in your outline, you have words and examples that you can give them to help prompt them. And then discussion questions as activity number 3. And so that's it. Super exciting this month. Lots of fun activities, lots of fun things, lots of fun candy canes and marshmallows and fun things. And so y'all have joy this week. Be an example of what it is to be joyful and have fun with your students. Thanks.